Did Jeffree Star just end his entire career? You're not gonna believe what he said about the LGBTQIA community. This is Rich Lux with the hottest YouTube news. Let's talk about it. Okay, girl, you're not gonna believe this, but Jeffree Star did a podcast. We talked about it the other day. It was an over 1 hour long podcast, and of course, he said something that offended a large group of people. Now, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, Jeffree Star sat down with an NFL player who has a popular podcast. And during the podcast, they got into some questions about some he, say, she, they, them, non-binary, non-conforming, those types of words. People often ask me, Rich, what is your pronouns? My pronoun is pay me. Cha-ching. Okay, girl. Yes, my pronoun is pay me, whatever. Okay, but anyways, I'm just joking, right? But somewhere during the pandemic, it became a bigger deal to start labeling, if you choose to, what you self-identify as for he, them, they, she, non-conforming, non-binary, things of that nature, right? And to answer your question with all jokes aside, to me, I really don't make a big deal out of it. Like, I guess I don't care. Call me she, call me them, call me he, call me pay me, call me he, she. I really don't care. It doesn't bother me at all. For some reason, it just doesn't really get to me. I understand, and I do understand 100% how some people, it really matters to them to be labeled as she or he, especially if they're trying to transition. Like, I totally understand that. Jeffree Star, on the other hand, basically said he is over it the house, and he was speaking, and I'm not defending Jeffree Star because he could defend himself because he did in his Instagram story. So let me show you what Jeffree Star said.
Good morning, everyone. Cheers. Now, what we're not gonna do today is lie on Jeffree Star's name and make up things that I never said. So recently, when I was in Arizona, I did a podcast. Obviously, I've been posting about it. And I said a few things. Bitch, what we're not gonna do is misconstrue what I said, because you whores in the old days would do this to every single thing I said. You would pick it apart, you would make it seem like something it wasn't. Well, guess what? We're not doing that anymore, sweetie! Don't care about any of this. Please scroll past this. I'm so sorry, you guys, but I have to say what I have to say for a second. So to anyone that is trying to make it seem like I said that non-binary people don't exist, I never said that. Record this right now. Never said it. You're putting words in my mouth. I said I don't like the pronouns and I don't agree with them. I never said that they don't exist. Bitch, I'm a freak. I'm a part of the LGBT community. Bitch, I'm pansexual. I'm bisexual. Whatever the fuck you want to call me. I don't like labels. I like guys. I like girls. I like sleeping with both. But I love men. Whatever you think that means to you, bitch, I don't care. Label however you want. But don't put words in my mouth. I do not agree with a few things. I'm old school. All these fucking 30 terms, girl, stop complicating everything. Just chill, take a hit, relax, and don't put words in my fucking mouth. We're not gonna do is say I'm against the LGBTQ community. Are you fucking kidding me, bitch? That's what I am. You don't have to agree with certain names, labels, and things, and then all of a sudden I'm labeled something. It's an endless cycle, you guys. I get it. It's just funny. I've been a part of this game a long time. I'm definitely have been way more active. Bitch is awake. I'm posting every day. I feel amazing. So I think people are like, oh, Jeffree's being a little more mouthy. No, bitch, I'm just being me. I'm doing interviews. I'm back out, Miss Girl. And we had an amazing time at Super Bowl weekend. The podcast is getting amazing views. Thank you guys for listening. And there was way more said than just that. And what the f is this?
Okay, so then he goes on. Of course, the next picture is him promoting his cosmetic line. He shows us some yaks and camels running around his backyard, and it's snowing. But then here you go, Jeffree Star's eating ice cream. Well, hold on, we have more receipts. Here he is, Jeffree Star eating ice cream. Remember, he said he hasn't ate junk food or fast food in 2 years. He's eating what? Unless it's cruelty, vegan, free, whatever. We don't know, girl. We don't. At this point, you don't really know what people are eating. Okay, so Jeffree Star is very adamant about letting you know that what we're not gonna do is make Jeffree Star the drama. In the podcast, Jeffree Star said he does not like all these terms that have been added. And I understand, because I know other people out there who are like, oh girl, all these terms, because back in my day it was just he and she and that's it, but now there's so many more. I get that. I understand how it could be annoying to some people. I understand how Jeffree Star could be frustrated and doesn't like that there's all these terms. But at the same time, you just have to respect it. Have to respect if somebody wants to be labeled non-conforming, non-binary. You know what I'm saying? And it's not one of those things where it's like, if you meet a straight guy, but he occasionally likes to get head from a gay guy, does that make him gay? Like stuff like that, right? At the end of the day, if that person self-identifies as straight, then that's what they self-identify. And who are me or you to say any otherwise? Let them, and that's their prerogative. So Jeffree Star went on to post this. Let me read it to you. People our age grew up in the don't label me era, and now we are all in a time where labels mean a lot to some people. We are not discrediting them or saying their feelings and opinions are not valid, but there are other people who don't agree with that mindset, and that's okay. We can all still stand up for our beliefs and be a part of the LGBTQIA community and support our different beliefs within it. We all want to love who we want to love and out with strict labels, and some want to do it with none. Jeffree Star responded to that comment and he said, "This, I spoke a few sentences of my harmless opinion, and people love to make it into an entirely different situation to feed their misery. Not today." He's really upset. This is something different. I've never seen Jeffree post comments and then reply to them. I've been following Jeffree Star's drama for over 5 years. This is new. He's very passionate about this, and I'm not defending Jeffree Star because I'm gonna come around and I'm gonna let you know something in a minute. You spitting some facts and getting bashed hard for it, but F that, keep it up, you are the GOAT. That's what someone said. Jeffree Star responded and said, "Always gonna be 100% me. I essentially was saying, I think labels are dumb, where things weren't this complicated. I also never mentioned the trans community once in that podcast, except once to validate them. Trans lives are precious, and I won't let anyone twist my words into saying I said so anything negative. Go try that fake narrative with the next one." He did it again. It's another comment, doubling down. The comment said, "The way they keep talking about liberty and expressing yourself freely, and the moment somebody actually expresses him, herself, and speaks her mind, they come at that person ruthlessly. The hypocrisy, keep up the good work. I love your content." Jeffree Star responded and said, "Thank you." I mean, it just goes on. He did it again. He did it again here. The thing is, right, Jeffree Star, let me read you a comment Bolin had posted. But Jeffree Star had said this in many instances of his career. You know, a lot of times people ask Jeffree Star, like, what are you? What are you into? And he's like, I'm just Jeffree Star. I'm an alien. And
when I was creating this, I was like, look, I am an alien. I want to create a palette that looks like an alien, and I want everything to be very earthy, weird, greens, purples, just like a whole weird palette. Because I feel like this year there has been so many.
And matter of fact, people used to make fun of Jeffree Star and say that he looked like an alien or that he was an alien. He created this whole entire makeup palette called the Alien Palette with the whole photo campaign based on people calling him an alien. That right there is a label within itself. You could, am I reaching here? I don't know. But let me tell you what Bolin said. She said, "I don't agree with the terms or 30 different pronouns." Well, that's a whole lot of ish. Your pronouns, you just said Jeffree. You are part of the problem. You didn't need to say anything in the first place, but you did. Sounds extremely like a Blair White to me. It just rattled a lot of cages. My thing is, Jeffree Star said he doesn't like the 30 different pronouns that are around today. Jeffree Star did grow up when it was just he and she, and also don't label me. It was very much that. I don't have any labels. It's very complicated. It's very interesting, right? Pronouns started to come out about non-conforming, non-binary, she, them, they. Like, remember all that? And there's so many more that I'm missing. There's like a Z one, I think. Z, they, them, or something. Remember all that? Okay, I was confused, and I will admit to you that I'm not educated in all the terms either. But I'm just not going to say anything about it at all because I don't know anything about it. If someone was to say, "Oh, I'm a ZZ," I don't know what that is. Sorry about it. But I'm not going to say that I don't like it. I'm not going to say that it's annoying, or I'm not going to say that, "Oh, back in my day, I'm just not going to say anything at all. It's just not the place. I'm just going to be like, I don't know. Just being honest with you guys. I know she. I know pay me. That's my pronoun is pay me. But I know enough to respect and understand that if somebody wants to be labeled as ZZ, them, the, he, she, non-conforming, non-binary, that is their gig. And you have to just respect it. Even if it's not part of the gig, it's almost like, I'm gonna take it back. Do you guys remember Amanda Lepore? Love her so much. And I don't know why she blocked me on, I have no idea why Amanda Lepore blocked me on Instagram. Can someone tell her to unblock me? Because like, I've never spoken to her negatively at all. I love her. We even took a picture together one time in a nightclub. I don't understand why she blocked. It's so weird. Maybe she's on accident, girl, who knows? But check this out. There's a lot of people on Twitter and the internet, people from RuPaul's Drag Race, a lot of the queens are just like, oh, I can't believe Jeffree Star. Oh my God, he said this, he said that. I do believe that it is a little bit contradicting. It is a little bit contradicting there because Jeffree Star also in the past has said that he refers to himself as an alien, or he refers to him as himself as he. But I think Jeffree Star should put himself in the position as someone else who is growing up during this time and wants to feel heard and validated. But like I was saying, there was a time back when it was, I think, what, Sally Jesse Raphael or Ricky Lake or one of those kings. Remember those shows? Well, Amanda Lepore used to go on those shows back in the day. And she used to say, oh yeah, I'm a sex change. No one really uses that pronoun, I'm a sex change. No one says that anymore. But at that time, that was the word that people would use is, oh yeah, he's a sex change or she's a sex change. No one uses that verbiage anymore. Now the correct term is people say they're transitioning or they're trans or stuff like that. That's more the appropriate term. But back then, it was rare. People weren't transitioning as much as they are now, right? Just money, medicine, people who would do it, safe places who would allow it to happen, stuff like that. So I think that Jeffree Star is a little bit in that Amanda Lepore era today where he's like saying things that he's like, I've been saying this all my life. This is how I grew up. This is my era. But then here we are with the new generation. He's like, why doesn't make any sense to me? Right? Instead of being maybe woke. Oh, I hate that word, girl. They'd be woke. You know what I'm saying? But it's just a product of just time. And there are a lot of people out there who agree with Jeffree Star and are saying, yes, I understand what you're saying. These 30 pronouns, I don't understand it. And however, there are people who are really angry at Jeffree Star. But Jeffree Star is not easy being controversial, and here we are again. Jeffree Star did the first podcast in 2023. He rattled the cage, shook it up, dating an NFL player. I mean, it's this drama, scandal. Would you expect anything less from Jeffree Star, girl? I mean, do you not? I mean, or do you? Are you shocked? I guess, like, you know how people say, I'm shocked but not surprised. Very much that. When I heard Jeffree Star do the podcast, right? And I heard him say what he said. What I took out of it, this is just my opinion, is that he said he doesn't like that there are all these pronouns. And I could understand where he's coming from because when growing up during his age, they didn't have all that. But instead of saying, I don't like that there's 30 pronouns, he should be like, but I respect it, I get the gig, I understand how it's important. He should, but because he didn't like say that and double back with, I understand those people want to feel heard today and the need for those. But at the same time, here we go. Jeffree Star also paved the way, whether you like it or not just him, other people have paved the way for those people today to have all those pronouns, to feel heard. You know, it was 30, 40, 50 years ago. I mean, to just be out and proud, you could go to jail. You could die. It's not as accepted. In some places, it is still not accepted. But it's a little bit easier, just a little bit. Because of people like Amanda Lepore, the club kids, the queens, the people who want to be open in transition, the crazy weird ones on the internet, like Jeffree Star, who wanted to contribute to shock value and stuff like that. It just make it a little bit more accepting, especially if you're in a bigger city. But if you're in small rural towns, it still is very hard. And I think that we're in a day and age where people want to be labeled as she, they, them, zay, non-conforming, non-binary, because they want to be heard and they want to be accepted and they want to feel like they're being viewed. Does that make sense? They want to feel seen. And so that's why they are really embracing those terms, because they're saying you're going to refer to me as this. Whereas Jeffree Star, there was none of that back then. I mean, he was there's literally would walk through streets and be called horrible names. And so I don't know if this video, it was not supposed to get that deep. I'm not defending Jeffree Star because he could defend himself, which he did in the Instagram story. There are still going to be people who are upset with what he said, but you have to watch the clip and not take it out of context. I don't think it was taken out of context. I think people heard it and they were like, oh, no, I can't believe he said that. Here we go. Especially because we live in a world where so many people are so much understanding. Like, okay, I hear you. If you want to be referred to Z, they, them, non-conforming, non-binary, then so forth. We will acknowledge you as that. Whereas Jeffree Star was like, oh my God, really? Oh my God. Like, I get it. Doesn't make it right, but I understand it. But here's why it's a big problem. Because Jeffree Star, being a CEO of a major cosmetic brand and major other brands, has in some way rattled the cage again, girl. And here we are. And this is why it's such a big deal, because you don't really see people in power or people with influence talking about it. In fact, even though it may be viewed negatively, the fact that Jeffree Star said it is bringing light to it. And you can see the divide on social media about it. So in some weird way, it's like, yeah, even though it may not have been a good look for him to even bring it up on the podcast, here we are talking about the importance of people non-conforming, non-binary, these days. And I get it, girl. When I first, like, I'm not holding back. When I first saw all that stuff on online, I remember going to people's Instagram and it said he, she, they, them, they, non-conforming, non-binary, and I was like, oh wow, oh this is like real. Oh, okay, because I didn't grow up with those terms either. But I can see the importance of them and I respect it. Whether I like it or not, it's not going anywhere. You know? Because I remember growing up and it was like, so what are you? Gay, bisexual? And they're like, oh, I don't believe in labels. I don't believe in labels. I remember that. But now, labels are important. Because it's important to be seen. But then when you have Jeffree Star saying that he doesn't like it, let me read the clip, girl. I think because I don't want to play too much of it, because YouTube gets mad. They want to flag me, girl, and all that stuff like that. But I think I have the clip on here. Let me see here. Someone sent me an explicit picture. Woo. Okay, let's check this out. So I'm gonna go to, here we go, right here.
I think, what other bullshit? The they and them. Yeah.
BS.
And all that extra shit that we
and all
had
that
during
extra
the
pandemic.
So bored on their fucking houses.
Right here.
They just started to make up more shit and more shit. More stuff. Yeah. That's why the conservatives like me, because I'm just real. You have
Conservatives like him because he's just, this is the pod, I'm playing from the podcast right here. But I can't play too much, I don't want to get flagged.
You're trans, you're...
Right here, what?
You're trans, you're...
Well, hold on, back up.
You're not them, you're trans, you're male or you're female.
You hear all that?
And you're standing on that. So mad.
He said you're trans, you're male, or you're female.
When I say that.
People get upset.
How are you a they? What the fuck does that mean?
He's upset.
It is. Yeah. But you need someone like me that looks like me to say it. Because if you say it, it turns into your own...
And he said, but you need someone like him to look like him to say it. Because if the football player says it, it's almost like a double-edged sword. If the football player would have said it, it would have been real drama.
People, you hate gays. And it's just how you feel. You don't hate anyone.
You see?
Think it's stupid. Yeah, I can sit here.
He thinks it's stupid.
Sit here.
Let's see what else he says.
As far as I can go. Yeah, it doesn't mean you're hateful. Yeah, and then you, like you said,
and the football player's like, yeah, cool, man.
Are you steamheading that? Are you people know? Hey, listen. About it, because I love.
Here we go.
Doing certain things like in the gun world or like.
You know, he started talking about guns, but let me repeat it from the beginning.
Other bullshit. I think. What other bullshit? The they and them. Yeah. And all.
He says, I think the they and them is BS. But if I go back to his Instagram story, here we go. You ready?
Good morning, everyone. Cheers. Now, what we're not going to do today is lie on Jeffree Star's name and make up things that I never said. So recently, when I was in Arizona, I did a podcast. Obviously, I've been posting about it.
Guys, hold on. The podcast was good. It's like an hour-long podcast. It was pretty good. If you're like a hardcore Jeffree Star fan, it was a lot of old tea. You kind of already knew what he was going to say. Like, he says a lot of the same things. But this podcast is a little bit different, and this is where he got into some drama.
Things. Bitch, what we're not going to do is misconstrue what I said, because you whores in the old days would do this to every single thing I said. You would pick it apart, you would make it seem like something it wasn't. Well, guess what? We're not doing that anymore, sweetie! Don't care about any of this. Please scroll past this. I'm so sorry, you guys, but I have to say what I have to say for a second. So to anyone that is trying to make it seem like I said that non-binary people don't exist, I never said that. Record this right now. Never said it. You're putting words in my mouth. I said I don't like the pronouns and I don't agree with them.
I don't like the pronouns. I don't agree with them. Here we go. Hold on.
All the other bullshit, I think. What other bullshit? The they and them. Yeah. And all that.
All the other BS, the they, and them. I mean, when I'm saying, if you didn't watch it, I just feel so bad, right? I feel so bad because, like, here you have Jeffree Star, who has played the role of, like, the villain, who has played the role of, like, that millionaire stare. Like, I get it, right? So when he said it, even just him talking about, hey, I don't like the BS of the they, they, them, non-conforming, non-binary. I think that's BS. I grew up when it was just he, she, and trans. Just saying that, people got upset about it. And it's easy to be upset at Jeffree Star because people already have in their minds, Jeffree Star, oh my God. So it's easy to blow it out of proportion. But when you really just strip it down and you don't dramatize it, here you have a guy who grew up 35, 40 years ago when there was no they, them, they, non-conforming, non-binary. All there was he, she, and trans. So he's just speaking from his point of view. But this is where he messed up. Because he should have said, I don't like it. I think that it's BS. I'm going to keep it real. I don't like it. However, I respect and understand the importance for people to be seen and heard and want to be they, them, she, they, trans, non-conforming, non-binary, non-gender, like all that stuff like that. Does that make sense at all? He should have just said, he should have said that. And I think this is why Jeffree Star gets in trouble. Because people like him for speaking his mind and keeping it real. But he should also say, but I understand the other side of the coin. And I think if he would have said that, it would have came across, oh wow, here's a guy who's stating his fact, how he feels, but also stating, hey, you know what? I can understand why those terms are here. And it would have been an amazing podcast if he would have then educated the football player and that whole entire community. I think that it's BS, but this is why it's important. Does that make sense? I don't agree with it, but I can see why it's important. I think that he should have said that. But that's just me, girl. Who am I? I don't know, girl. I don't know anything. Who am I, girl? But Jeffree Star got in trouble again. And he is basically saying, no, I didn't say that. But within the same breath, this is where Jeffree Star also contradicts himself. Because, like I said, he has called himself an alien before. So you see how it's kind of like, you say there's no labels. You say how there's no they, them, non-conforming, non-binary, non-gender. I get all that. And all there was he, she, and trans back then. But then you also label yourself as an alien when other people used to make fun of you, say that you're an alien and stuff like that. So I think that Jeffree Star could have been a really good role model for that whole LGBTQIA, non-conforming, non-binary gender community. But instead he's like, girl, that's just BS. I think it's stupid. You gotta find at least some funniness in it. Because also the coin, those people now, hear me out. The people now who are carrying the flag and demanding to be heard as ze, they, them, she, they, non-conforming, non-binary, non-gender, are also shining light on people like Jeffree Star to shine even brighter. So it's not like just because Jeffree Star and others paved the way for these people to have those options, but it also works vice versa. It's all helping each other. Because now when Jeffree Star enters a room, people are going to say, hello, Mr. Star. How do you want me to refer to you? She, they, them, they, ze, they, non-conforming, non-binary. And he's like, I'm just Jeffree Star. I'm a he. Okay, great. But now you have those options if he wanted to. And I feel like people change their minds all the time. Jeffree Star could come out as trans next year. We don't know. Jeffree Star might want to be non-conforming, non-binary. And in all actuality, even though Jeffree Star says he's a he, I feel like Jeffree Star falls, if you want to be politically correct, I think that Jeffree Star would fall in non-conforming, non-binary. Like he just doesn't conform to anything male or female. He's just himself. Does that make sense? Interesting tea, girl. Doesn't matter what I think about all this drama. It really doesn't. What do you guys think about that? In the comments down below. I want to know. So let me know what you think about that, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. I love you so much.